everyone and welcome back to the Bare Thread. So this is a sewing video. So I have made this sweater dress that I'm wearing that's impossible to see, so I'll have to insert some pictures. So this is the Waves and Wild Hot Coffee sweater dress. So there's like sweater options in the pattern. You can have a crew neck, a cowl neck and a hood. And then you can also extend it to make it into a dress, so that's what I've done. So this is the crew neck option. So I bought this fabric from Little Legs. I've never bought from them before, and I basically just hit up their sale section, so they're all remnants. So it was quite a small piece of this yellow, mustard yellow French terry, and then a reasonable amount of this kind of fuchsia French terry. So the pink one is like looped back, which is kind of what I would think of as being like normal, and then the yellow one is like towel backed, and I didn't really think about it when I bought it, but it is a bit weird. It just feels like I'm wearing a towel. I think you would more commonly use this for like a beach wrap or an after swimming kind of thing, and it is a bit odd. And when I was cutting it up, loads of bits were coming out, so I don't know how much I love this fabric, although it feels very soft and it's fine to wear. It's just a little bit weird. I kind of wanted to have the yellow to break up just the wall of pink that this dress was going to be, but I'm not totally convinced that I love how I've done it. At one point I did want to have the bottom of the dress be yellow as well, and I kind of thought as well I didn't have enough pink fabric to do the whole dress in pink, so that's also why I was including the yellow. And when I was going to do the bottom part of the dress in yellow, I did realise that would mean that I would be left with a bit of the pink left over as like a remnant, and also some of the yellow. And I'm trying not to have these annoying like ½ metre or less remnants, because they're so hard to use up, and that's what I have so much of. So I decided to do the whole dress all the way down in the pink, and then just do the end of the sleeves and also the cuffs in yellow. I kind of like it, but I don't know if I fully like it. I could have maybe done the dress in pink and the neckband, bottom hemband and the cuffs in yellow, and that would have broken it up. So I don't know, there's ways that I could have done it that would have been perhaps that would have worked a bit better and a bit more creative, but you'll have to let me know what you think about where I should have placed the yellow, or whether or not you think it kind of works in the sleeves. I do appreciate I look like a fruit salad sweet. That was part of the idea though, so that's fine. Yeah, so that's the fabric. The fabric was fine and it was a reasonable price because it's from Little Legs. And it is just like plain blocks of colour. It's very pink. It like really confuses the camera because it's pink and reds like get picked up and really saturated on cameras, so it's really making the camera go weird earlier. I used the, like I said, the Waves and Wild pattern, and I knew I didn't have enough to do the hood, and I wouldn't have had enough for the cowl neck, but I kind of wanted to try the crew neck anyway because I kind of liked the idea of a crew neck sweater dress. So I made the dress as it was. Actually I blended a size small into a size medium, which is what I'd done when I made the hoodie version of that pattern. I blended the small to medium and it seemed to fit quite well, so I did that again. But when I did it this time, I just had loads of extra fabric in like my upper and mid section on the sides. It is a little bit snug around my like hips and thighs, so I almost feel like I needed to go a little bit bigger on the bottom half and quite a bit smaller on the top half. So I actually did, I'll insert some pictures of what the dress looked like initially. I actually did take off quite a bit down each side. I probably took it in a little bit too much because it doesn't have that kind of relaxed slouchy sweater feel anymore. It's a little bit fitted, but there's still loads of like extra like fabric wiggle room, extra fabric in there. It's just like it's in awkward places that are hard to like pinch out, and I guess I would need to put darts in is probably what I need more than anything else. What seemed to work fine as a top, as a hoodie, looks more weird as a dress. I don't know why that would be. but yeah, it's like there was like too much fabric, so I took out quite a bit, quite far down, and I did have to do a couple of edits to make the line as smooth as possible, but to make it smoother I had to take even more out and extend it even longer, which may have contributed now to it feeling like the slightest bit tight around like my hips and thighs and bum area, because I probably went down into that area just to try and make it a bit smoother. But that's probably because I went in too much, it took too much off the width to be able to make a smooth line without taking more off the length, if that made any sense. No, it didn't. So I blended a small to a medium, and the size still didn't quite feel right and I had to take quite a bit out of the width. I extended the length of the dress because I thought that the length that they had it would have felt a bit more like a tunic that I had to wear with leggings, and this does feel more like a dress length. When I'm standing up it comes to my knees, sitting down it does ride up a little bit above my knees. That's fine, I'm comfortable with that. I have thought though that like it's quite cold and I get cold all the time. It's actually really mild at the moment, like for November the weather's been really mild here, but I'm cold all the time, and so I'm going to want to wear it with tights anyway, but my tights are black and this dress is pink and I feel like that might look a little bit odd, so I don't know what colour tights I'm supposed to wear. But I did make it a bit longer, and I think the length is the length that I'm comfortable with, so I like the length that I've given it, just a few extra inches, and it feels to me more like a dress rather than like a tunic or long top. I think it obviously depends how tall you are as to how long you're going to want it. And then the other change was the neckline. So I really hate having things around my neck, so a crew neck was an interesting choice. So the neckline, I actually cut the wrong neckline initially, and I actually cut the neckline for the cowl neck, not the crew neck, which is actually I think a bit lower than the crew neck sits on the pattern. So it was already a sort of a wider neckline than it would have been, and it still felt too tight for me. So I actually unpicked the neckband because I knew I just would not wear it. I unpicked the neckband and took off like a good 1.5 centimeters from here, and then I tapered it up to like the shoulder seams because I didn't need to take any off the back. I didn't want it like really low at the back, it's just around the front. Re-sewed that on, tried it on again, it was still too tight. I've taken off another centimetre, so that's like 2.5 centimetres from, definitely from the centre front and about like up to here, and then it starts to taper in, so it's not as much taken from like the side parts. I still feel like for me this is too tight, and I know it doesn't look particularly tight, but I'm just very sensitive to having things around my neck, and so a crew neck was an interesting choice, I know. The hoodie is absolutely fine, and actually cowl necks are usually fine as well, even though you think they've got more around your neck. They tend to sit further away from your skin, even though they're chunkier, whereas this is like right on my skin. So it is irritating me a bit, but I think it is just about bearable, but I will be like constantly doing this. So I would say that for me, I also didn't include any pockets because I wasn't sure if I wanted them or not, and I may or may not go back and add pockets. I mean, it's always nice to have pockets, but I didn't know if I really wanted a kangaroo pocket, and then the other ones were like patch pockets, and I always feel like with those, if you put your phone in it, it just drags the whole thing down, and my phone is the thing that I would probably want to have easy access to. So I don't know if they're my favourite kind of pockets. The kangaroo probably would be preferable, but then it kind of, sometimes the placement, it can sit a bit funny, I don't know. But looking at the pattern, it didn't seem like it would be a problem to add them on afterwards. I think it would be a lot easier to do it before when the fabric is nice and flat and nothing else is on there. Now I have to be putting out a dress through the sewing machine rather than just a piece of fabric. But I still, it wouldn't interfere with anything, so I can go back and add the pockets if I choose to. So I would say that this was like a mitigated success, and it's frustrating because I seem to have a lot of those, and I know it's like all a learning curve, but I don't really feel like I'm learning very much. I feel like this is a wearable toile, which I guess was the intention anyway, because it was all a bit of an experimentation. I like the pattern. I don't know if the fit of the dress really works for me, but it might just be that I'm asking for something from a sweater dress that you just can't get, like to have more shape to it, but also keep like a loose casual feel. So the hunt continues for a dress that meets that criteria. I like some of the changes that I made to the pattern, but I will have to make more, and I will probably just avoid making the crew neck if I made this again. The other necklines I think would work better for me, like a hooded version of this. I think actually I would quite like a hooded version of it, like a hooded dress. I think that would be quite fun. So I might try it again with a hood and make some alterations to the sizing as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of the hot coffee pattern, Little Legs fabric, anything else that I've mentioned. Give us a like and a subscribe, and I will see you next time.